Yes, troops, I'm back. Right. Yesterday I done a co-working day with your boys Kyle and Leon, the property bros, and I always say this, but see when you think you work hard, go next to people, sit next to people who actually work fucking hard, and I mean like consistently hard. You might have a day when you're like, oh, I worked hard today, like I worked like a full 10 hours, like uninterrupted 10 hours, 8 hours, whatever. Those boys do it every day. So I like every few weeks, like I like just being next to them, working and stuff like that, and it kind of, boosts me, kicks me up the arse. Oh, this is the level I need to be working at. This is what I need to do to get the success that I want. So, full of energy today. Done some admin this morning. Got a couple of viewings. Take you around them, and I've got a new investment area that I'm wanting to look at. So I'm going to call agents, lettings agents, see if I can find out the area yield, the gross area yield, to work out the end values, go and spare room, see what the demand is looking like, same with Rightmove, as well as speaking to the agents, and see what the rents are looking at as well for double en suites and studio style rooms. Does it have the stock? So why am I looking at this area? It's because the house prices are reasonable. The areas that I currently operate in, so as you know, it's Derby, it's the house prices, and same with Long Eaton, the house prices have just taken the piss. Because the agents know like there's a lot of HMO investors there, and once the agent is aware that Article 4 was coming in, and now that all those investors who don't invest in Article 4, don't know how to navigate Article 4, they're all flooding over to the satellite town, which is Long Eaton. Those agents have jacked up the prices. Houses that you know yourself are worth like 130. The listed for like 160, 170, and they're not selling. So still throwing in the offers in at what price I believe it is worth, based on comparables and such, and seeing if one gets accepted and doing the follow-ups. Because you might see a property, you're like, oh, this fucking works, but it's like 20 grand over what I believe it is worth and what the numbers work for me. That doesn't mean you don't put the offer in. You throw the offer in, it inevitably gets rejected, or maybe it actually gets accepted, who knows. But after a week, just checking to see if you've reconsidered my offer. A few weeks, just checking to see if you reconsidered my offer. Some sellers are impatient, some sellers are motivated. If you're a cash buyer, you've got the leverage in that situation. A quick sale can help a lot of people. So anyway, that was a wee bit of a tangent. Doing a couple site visits as well. Right, I'll see you wherever I next see you. All right, we're at the viewing, and as you can see, all the houses are similar all the way around. So you know the drill, sending letters to all of them. First problem already seen. If we extended this, say 3 meters this way, what do you do about this? Because you've got the neighbour's gate, they come across here and go through the alleyway to put the bins out. So solving that would be important. You could move that further down there, but then would the next door neighbours be okay with that? Those are things that you don't want to come across down the line. Your architect should pull it up, but it's definitely something that's important. So viewing number 2, and see down there, that's where the gate is. Right there, the shared access gate. So if I'm doing an infill extension here, again, that gate's got to move. I wish these pictures showed it, because it's just causing more problems. It's got a new roof, but I'd be ripping that apart anyway. Couple of wee cracks there, but again, chances are that'll come off and get sorted anyway. So, box standard stuff. And again, the neighbours all the way down here. Opportunity everywhere. Opportunity absolutely everywhere. All right, so done that viewing. Went to Project Brighton. I'll put a photo up here of the painters. The painters are in. The other painter went on holiday, so we had to get new painters in. And they're cracking on. It means there was like a slight delay, but you know what, it happens. So my advice is make it explicitly clear that you want to know way in advance when anyone has holidays, and then you can plan accordingly. You can be like, okay, this painter is on holiday on these dates, I want to get another painter in on those dates, or can we pull him forward, push him back, do you know what I mean? So it's not just like sprung upon you. Anyway, that's cracking on, and I pulled over. I'm waiting to go to my next viewing, and I've done some cold outreach. So when I've got a little bit of time, I do some cold outreach on LinkedIn. So I use all my weekly, now like from this week on, I'm going to make sure I use my weekly limit of connections. I might upgrade to premium because apparently you get unlimited So right now it feels like there's like 100 and 120 or something, which, you know what, when it comes to a numbers game, it's actually not that many. So I've done that, done all the connections, and now I'm just doing cold outreach. So that's the cold outreach for one of them. So in my bio, I I work with business owners and directors, because I want to niche it down a bit, niche it down a bit. So if I'm connecting with business owners and directors, then they'll see that what I do could be tailored towards them. It basically makes it more specific for them, so they might be more willing to work with me, if you know what I mean. So a lot of people, it's definitely important to have some sort of niche, have some sort of avatar. That way they'll be more inclined to work with you, and you'll know exactly what they're looking for. You'll be more fit for them. So that message, if you paused it, read it, that's the one that I'll initially send. And then when I get a deal accepted, I'll send another one saying, hang on, I'll read it out to you. By the way, Leon helped me with this because he's had a lot of success on LinkedIn, Leon Hart. So big up him, thank you. So that's the first one that I'll send. The second one is, hi, I'm currently raising X amount for a new project and offering up to 15% return per annum, depending on the investment level. It would only be 15% if they're funding the purchase and the renovation. The rest will be a bit less. And then it'll be like bullet points. So bullet points would be minimum investment 10,000, hands off, fully secured, typical term 6 to 12 months. It probably wouldn't be 6 months. I'll probably put like 9 to 12 months. And just a little bit at the end. If that's something you'd like more information on, let me know and I'll send you over the details. Thanks, Scott. So basically, the problem I was doing was I was sending, I hope you can see me by the way, because on the camera it's really dark. So what I was doing before, I was sending a huge basically a huge paragraph going straight for the jugular, and I didn't get one response. Like, I did send quite a lot. I'd say I sent about 100, and you'd expect some sort of a response, even like a rejection. You know what I mean? So I knew something had to change. So when I met with Leon and Kyle yesterday, they basically put me back on the right path. So I'm going to test it, see if it works. And basically, I'm targeting business owners and directors. I'm coming for you guys. And if you want to back one of the projects, obviously fill in the form below. You know what I mean? I always forget to do a little call to action. The first property that I viewed was good, but it's a repossession. Oh. But the agent's not putting it on the market, like how much it's being offered, because they're a bit of a naughty agent, and I like that. I do like that. So I'm considering it, strongly considering it. Right, let's go to this next viewing, and I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'll see you wherever. Here I am. Been a while since I've been in here, eh? I'm actually thinking of doing more videos in here, because I actually like doing videos in here. Nice wee background, you know what I mean? Anyway, it's 5:10. I'm wanting this video to be out for 6. If I manage to pull it off, fair fucking play to me. I've basically been putting out fires all afternoon, man. I've had problems come up on a couple projects, but we deal with them. So the 2 viewings, went to them, obviously, and just measured them up and done what I needed to do. I'm going to put an offer in on one of them. One of them is a repossession, but I don't know if I want to go down that route, because if, let's say I raise the funds and, put money into it with the architect plans and the solicitors and such, getting the lenders involved, and then someone comes in with a higher offer, what we do is like really big. So you spend a lot during the conveyancing process, more than normal. So I don't know if it's worth the fucking risk, man. I don't think it is. But the other one, I'm going to put an offer in. It's a cheeky offer. You know what I mean? It's like 10% below market value, but game's the game. That's what numbers work for me. So that's a little tip. The barrier that I had a lot of times, the reason why I didn't put offers in on properties was because, that's too expensive and they're not going to accept my offer. So I wouldn't put the offer forward. So just put the fucking offer forward anyway. You never know. It's better to just try and fail than not try at all. It's so obvious, man. But how do I want to end this video? Every day feels like a huge struggle to me, man. Feels like a huge struggle. And I'm trying to just take each day as it comes, but every day it's like relentless amount of problems. So I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just venting. But yeah, there's a lot of that on this channel, man. just comment or DM me, message me if you're like, Scott, it's a bit too much. Cheer it up a little bit. But this shit's fucking hard. I will say that I've had some success with social media again, and it's definitely something I encourage you to do. If you're watching this and thinking like, I'm nervous about putting my face on the camera, I'm nervous about talking, how do I know what to say? How do I generate ideas? How do I say something without stuttering? How do I come up with scripts? How do I know anything? Like, how do I do this? Then I'll tell you, the results are that I've got another investor lead today. To put it bluntly, I got another investor lead today. I got one last week, and the project, I can't even say the street name because it's still in conveyancing, but that project got that one through Facebook and stuff. To remind you, create a YouTube video, clip maybe 1 or 2 clips out of it, then put that on Reels. Use the transcript that I got from creating the captions on it's an app called Blink. So use the transcript, get a photo from the video, like usually it's the thumbnail, and then use that static photo, put it on LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the Facebook groups, right? And the transcript is what I use. I'll probably touch it up a little bit, you know, make it like more presentable, but that's basically it. That's my content strategy, and sometimes I'll do a newsletter. I need to get back onto that. And basically it's 1 or 2 out of 10 effort, but it is 9 and 10 out of returns. So low effort, high returns. And basically I do a combination of the lessons that I learn and I get the lesson. I want to talk about, like, this is a lesson that I want to teach, and here's the story that I can use to like hit the lesson home. That's kind of what I do. So if you go on like my Instagram and you look at the reels, most of the time it's like me telling a story, but it's like there's like an overall message that I'm going to get across. I do that plus the evidence. So I'll post like floor plans, valuations, completed projects, offer accepted, stuff like that. Evidence that I am doing what I say I'm doing. And if you're not at that stage yet, going to viewings, going to networking events, sending direct to vendor letters, doing all of these things, just whatever action you're taking, that's good enough for social media, right? But when it comes to idea generation, when it comes to how do you come up with content ideas, I don't sit and brainstorm. Like, you saw at the start of this clip here, how shit was that? I was just riffing, I nearly started complaining again, but something sparked in my head, and then now I'm running with it, and it's this. So basically, when it comes to content creation ideas, I think, what lesson have I learned this week? What lesson have I learned today? If I have to sit and brainstorm, this is what I would do. And then I would just attach a story to it, you know? For example, when I done the lesson, and what I wanted to get across was you have to do things that you hate in order to get things that you love. If I just posted that, I look like a 13-year-old from 2012 posting on Tumblr. You know what I mean? Boring. People have seen that shit all the time. So not that the lesson's bad, but posting it by itself is bad. So what I done was attach the story of me finding my first HMO conversion deal and getting it accepted. So that involved, you know, like me getting up 5 a.m., walking to lifeguarding job, trolley, ladder on the trolley, taking that there in the staff room, feeling embarrassed, getting changed, and then going to the viewing, sitting on the train, on the floor in between the cabins, whilst everyone's legs and arses are in my face, getting to the viewing, soaking wet with the rain, and basically got the offer accepted. But it also involved like getting the vendor to take all of her clothes off her railing onto the bed so I can get into the loft. All of that story was just me relentlessly doing shit that I hate in one day. Bearing in mind that happened for like weeks and months, right? But in one day, I done a lot of shit that I hate, and I eventually got the thing that I loved, which was a HMO conversion deal. So if you have something that you want to talk about, do that. Another little tip is, if you're in WhatsApp groups, if you're in Facebook groups, here's just like a relentless content idea generation if you are struggling. People post questions all the time. I post questions. When you see people posting questions, answer them in a reel. Attach a story onto it, you know. I don't believe the whole, here's 5 top tips about buy-to-let and all that stuff. That's just shit I can Google. It's not one of one. So if you're thinking of doing that, go for it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'd rather you post some content than no content. However, I want to invest in you. I want to follow you, your story, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So just remember that when people invest in you, don't have your profile picture as a company picture. Make it you. Don't just do top 5 reasons you should get into property investment. Here's why I got into property investment. Here's all the shit that I went through that led me to the ultimate decision of, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm going to do it. Because that's a one-of-one story. You know, if everyone done the top 5 tips, then it would just be everyone posting the same shit. A lot of the content creators that you follow, a lot of the people that you like, a lot of the things, you know, whether it's a podcaster, whether it's like a vlogger or just someone on Instagram Reels, TikTok and that, it's because they do one-of-one content. You don't see what they do anywhere else. And yes, they may use the same camera, same lighting, same setup, and, you know, same editing software, all that shit. But what they have is just one-of-one stories, and they'll just be sharing stories about themselves. So why is this a big chunk of this video? I get asked about it a lot when it comes to content creation, and it's just all I do is post stories. I'll think of YouTube videos. You can see fine well, like I just chat shit most of the time, but sometimes whilst you're talking, something sparks up, or you'll see someone ask a question, and just storytelling is the best way of doing it, man. Storytelling is the best way of doing it. That's the best way of building a personal brand where people can know, like, and trust you. Because if your goal is to raise funds or find clients or provide a service to people, chances are you've got to build a personal brand so they can know, like, and trust you and invest in you. They invest in the jockey, not the horse. A lot of private investors don't really know the ins and outs of, say, HMOs, right? But they invest in you. They trust you because they know what you've been through and the level of dedication that you've got, right? So I definitely think that posting stories is the best thing to do. Right. Listen, I hope that was helpful. That was a last minute fucking rant. I'm going to edit this up and post it in 40 minutes. See you in a bit.